ready like they got a for sale tag. If you hate, you gon' fail bad. Got that dope like I sell tabs. And that's for the record, they got it on record like they got my cell tab. Ain't no question the love real. Glad to meet us like drug deals. Never burn bridges, stay true to the business, that's why we the plug still. Dirty money, the tub filled. To the max, ain't no suds for real. I got it uncut, no, I got that touch, now I need a tip drill.
And my diamond gon' glitz still, and your hoe on my list still. She gon' give me them pennies and shot her gon' panic, I told her to sit still. And she gon' keep her lips sealed. If she want some Prada Chanel, I'm trapping, I'm sending them mail. Just like Philly, I'm getting them bills. Want some money, go get you a scale. With the hutcher, she know I'm a player. And the shot know that I'm a prize. I can see the money in her eyes. I'm a fucker, then I tell her lies. I ain't really with the vibes. I'm in Zamunda for the coach. I'm high hanging on the post. My diamonds wetter than the ocean. I'm a president of smoke. I can represent Obama. Keep the chopper like Osama. You niggas be hating, this shit is not critical. Look at my watch, it's not ticking, it's digital. Nobody watching you cause you're predictable. Out of my box, knowing I want the mission. Coming through, bringing you here like the principal. What does it smell? Yeah, it's the Prada Chanel. But then I guess
it's that Prada Chanel swag. Stay fly like a mailbag. All of these bad hoes ready like they got a for sale tag. If you hate, you gon' fail bad. Got that dope like I sell tabs. And that's for the record, they got it on record like they got my cell tab. Ain't no question the love real. Glad to meet us like drug deals. Never burn bridges, stay true to the business, that's why we the plug still. Dirty money, the tub filled. To the max, ain't no suds for real. I got it uncut, no, I got that touch, now I need a tip drill. For real.
All right, Beretta Biz, Prada Chanel, and yeah, Rise. We gonna roll with that. We gonna critique the mixes later, and we'll just roll with the songs. But look, man, I had the pleasure of having a good chat with the homie Jason Easterling, man. So I want y'all to check that out for a minute, and then we gonna get back to the Shark Tank.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Sky for the playlist on Twin Radio Syndicate, and now being powered by Spreaker. It was maybe, 2 weeks ago, I reached out to my homegirls, Aaron and Dana, and I just tagged them in a post letting them know I was doing a show, and I was trying to get some new music. And they tagged a bunch of Minnesota artists, you know what I'm saying, mainly from the Twin Cities area. And from that pack of artists came a gentleman, Jason Easterling. And I didn't know anything about him, but I found out he was cool with Anthony D. But from there, he became a fan of the playlist. He listens all the time. And I know this because, he sometimes shares things like that I've said or things about the show or whatever. So I did my research on him, and I see that he has a new broadcast, a new podcast that he's launching that's centered around independent artists. So I was like, wow, gotta bring him on. So what's good, Jason? How you doing, my guy?
Not bad, boss. Not bad, man. I appreciate you calling me up and bringing me on, man. This is nothing but a pleasure to be here. But, yeah, man, I like what we both got going on, and I seen it through Anthony D, but also Just Will, because, Just Will dropped his new EP. So,
the first final. The first final, yeah.
The first final. Man, it is fire to me. Fire. I'm big into R&B, neo-soul, that kind of genre. So to see that he bringing that kind of love back is, dope as hell to me. But
no doubt. Oh, go ahead, finish, and then I got some questions for you.
For sure. So I love the show, and my show, definitely is coming on. It's on a newer platform. I don't know if anybody have heard of it before, but it's called Station Head Radio, and allows me to be congruent or run with the independent artists and get them out there. I mean, I could play your favorite artist and your favorites artist and whoever that may be, the biggest artist in the world, but we also cater to and want to cater to that indie artist and showcasing their talents and getting that community attached to the new artists that we're developing or we see out here or that we're loving. So yeah, man,
Okay.
I can't wait to talk more about it. We've got questions.
I dig that, but let me ask you this, man. It's one thing to like be providing exposure for independent artists, but it's a whole nother thing when you start giving out like critiques and letting artists know like kind of what you feel about it. So, like, what was the fuel behind wanting to be more of that type of platform, to be more of like, not critiques is maybe strong, but reviews?
Reviews, right. Well, I'm my background for occupation was a trainer. So I did corporate training for a multitude of companies, and I realized how important feedback is, criticism, constructive, obviously, but just good feedback to someone to say, hey, you're doing awesome. Love the lane that you're in. I'm not discrediting your talent, nor your art, nor your sophistication to think of this stuff, because it's hard, bro. Like, it's hard to create, to be an artist and create. Some can do it easily, and then some might have to put more structure to it, but it's hard to do nonetheless. But I feel like we should help one another grow. Like, I'm just one person in this tank that has an idea of what you sound like on the other end. Like, 'cause, you know, if you create something, you're like, oh, that's the shit to me. I love it. Or you might be like, you know, but you put it out anyway because you gotta put out your catalog. You feel me? And what I realized is being honest with them, like, bro, it's a dope track. I like it. But after hearing 5 songs of yours, I like you in this pocket instead of that pocket. And they were like, I've heard people go, you know what, you're right. I agree with you. And I think it's just one of those things that's helped people connect to their fans instead of someone always being a yes man. It's just like you need someone in your corner to give you advice, to figure out which lane you should go to, if you've been doubting yourself, if you're like, you know what, I should have did that. I should have went there. I'm going to do that next time, right? And it just kind of like gives you a validation as an artist. So that validity sometimes is what can help a person get to that next level. So that's where I came in. I'm like, you know what? I want to jump in this lane and give feedback. Keep it pleasant, keep it positive, but also where I can see things to be done a little different, or it wasn't my float. And it was just like, you know what, I'm no A&R, I'm no big-time person. I'm just a person that listens to music, and that's one of my scapegoats. Like, I'm connected to music a little different because it's one of my places, like, if I'm having a tough day, I go to. So I'm really listening in tune and staying in tune to what's being put out there.
All right, like, even with a new platform, you get a way more bigger response if you were giving critiques or reviews. I keep saying critique, but let's say reviews of major artists. So why is it important for you to take the harder road, you know what I'm saying, and make your platform for indie artists? We talked a little bit, you know, offline about it. Sometimes it's hard to get them to even support themselves. So,
yeah,
like, you know what you're getting into. So why would you still do it?
Well, you know what? That's next. That's what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of our favorite artists are. What's so cool? Let me say this. What's so cool about being a creator and a curator, like a lot of these artists are, is that it's timeless. Like Jay-Z's and all these guys can continue to rap, but what happens is that they're no longer in that realm that most of their fans are in. So they don't speak to what we are living anymore because they're living in 20,000-foot square homes and we're all living in either 1,000 or less. You know what I'm saying? So when they speak on what they speak on, it's kind of detached from what we live. So when you get to the new artist or that indie artist that's out, they're living. They're your people. Those are your people that are selling you cell phones, that are, you know, answering the call centers, that are calling to do bill collectors. Those are these people that are next to you that are telling about their struggles that are closely related to, right? So the commonality is there. And that's why I like about the indie artists. So I'm going to always listen to them because I have, a common bond with them. And I can connect with them a lot easier than I can with Cassidy talking about picking up ARs and 15s and this, that, and, you know what I'm saying, bazookas. I'm not going to I mean, I go to the range with my homies. Like, I got me a nice pistol, but I'm not, I can't relate too much. But it's dope in its way. So that's why I'm always stay attached to that indie artists. I'm going to always go back to them. I'm going to always rep them. I'm going to always want to hear from them and invest in them because it only takes a couple people for them to feel like, you know what, I am the shit. I am doing what I'm supposed to do. I feel this in my bones, so I'm going to keep at it. All they got to do is, you know what's so crazy, man? There's so many different platforms and ways to get their music out. They just got to find it instead of, picking the regular YouTube and SoundCloud. Go on IG. Once you put one music thing up, you'll end up following or falling into a whole plethora of advertisement for getting your music displayed. You feel me?
No, I totally feel you, and I want to jump in here too. I remember I had just 3 or 4 days ago speaking to an artist, and we have within my management and marketing company, we have like indie radio promotion, and I was just kind of discussing it with them. And they were just like, yo, I'm interested, but let me see what's up because I'm about to get my song played on the biggest station in our state. And I'm like, one station? And he's like, yeah, but it's the biggest station. And I was like, yo, quick story. And I was like, yo, I'm not trying to sell my services any longer. I'm just trying to give you some real facts. I'm like, you've heard of Hot 97, right? And he's like, yeah, of course. Who haven't? I said, okay, that's in my backyard, all right? Some kids from my town got their song played on that station multiple times. And guess what they're doing? He's like, yo, so they should be, I'm like, they're doing less than what they were doing before they got it played. And I'm not saying that this young man, and I don't want to say his name because his music is played on here as well, I don't want to say that will be his, road and same, they'll travel the same path or whatever. But my point is stop waiting on that one thing. Like I try to tell people all the time, yes, a chance meeting may lead to changes in your career, but stop counting on one event to do that. And like people will be like, they'll put all their eggs in one basket and be like, yo, it's got to pop off. Like, and I don't like. No one wants to take the journey. They just want the result.
That's it. So that's the part that I want to be able to give when I get feedback or reviews on how I feel that song is. I want to be like, I feel like you're creating this to do radio. If that's your intent, go for it. But then you're going to run out of steam trying to please everyone instead of doing the art for yourself and what makes you happy, right? Because eventually you're going to build enough steam to be, a big caboose, like to just keep going. Can't nobody stop you, and you're on and on. Like think about like your Little Nas's and these people that just blew up overnight. Some may think that is an overnight success, but they put in their due diligence and use the right market to get themselves ahead, right? Which is not, I'm not hating on it. So eventually if your song good enough or it's loved enough, it's going to get radio play. So let's not worry about radio play. But what you need to worry about is just finding a good fan base that's going to mess with you and mess with any of your songs that you put out, right? And when they find the one that they absolutely love, then they're going to take it to that next level for you because they believe in you, right? So, like, let's think of this. Right? Let's look like Lizzo. I don't know if a lot of people know this or remember this, but her biggest song that she came out with, the one with the Minnesota Vikings whole song, you know what I'm saying, that little song? That song was 2-3 years old. I can't remember the name of it either, but that song was 2-3 years old before it blew up. Like, that's something that she didn't even record right away. Like, it was already recorded and just in the catalog. And then it came out and it was like, oh, damn, it blew up after a while. So that's the thing, man. As long as you got a strong catalog that you can go into and grab, at the time, you'd be good. I got a small story, quick story. I was looking at an interview with Russ. You know who Russ is, right?
Uh-huh.
And he was